Video 63 Communication Channels Reach versus Impact Area 6 CHES Subcompetencies 6.3.1. Review the learning objectives for this video. Welcome to this video on communication channels. I am really glad you are diving into this topic because choosing the right channel is one of the most practical and impactful decisions you will make as a health educator. In health communication, a channel is simply the medium or vehicle through which your health message travels from you, the sender, to your intended audience, the receiver. Choosing the right channel directly determines two critical outcomes: how many people your message reaches and how deeply that message influences their behavior. These two outcomes, reach and impact, tend to move in opposite directions, and understanding this trade-off is essential for the exam. Here's an important insight to carry with you. No single channel works best for every situation. A television public service announcement reaches millions, but cannot answer individual questions. A one-on-one counseling session deeply influences one person, but cannot reach an entire community. The most effective health communication campaigns do not rely on a single channel. Instead, they use a strategic combination of channels, often called a channel mix or media mix, to maximize both reach and impact across different segments of the target audience. Your job as a health educator is to select channels that align with your specific communication objectives, your audience's preferences and access, and the resources available to your program. This is a skill that makes a real difference in practice, and you are building it right now. Now let us compare the two main categories of communication channels in detail, and I want you to really get comfortable with this comparison because it comes up frequently on the exam. Mass media channels include traditional media such as television, radio, newspapers, magazines, and billboards, as well as digital media such as websites, social media platforms, email newsletters, and mobile applications. The defining characteristic of mass media is high reach. A single television commercial during prime time can reach millions of viewers. A viral social media post can spread across entire populations within hours. However, mass media channels generally produce low behavioral impact when used alone. They are excellent for raising awareness, increasing knowledge, and shifting social norms, but they are limited in their ability to change complex health behaviors. Mass media communication is typically one-directional, meaning the message flows from the sender to the receiver with no immediate opportunity for feedback, questions, or personalized guidance. Interpersonal channels include one-on-one counseling, small group education sessions, peer education programs, community health worker visits, telephone hotlines, and face-to-face workshops. The defining characteristic of interpersonal channels is high impact. When a trusted peer educator sits down with someone and addresses their specific barriers, answers their questions, and helps them build skills, the likelihood of actual behavior change increases dramatically. However, interpersonal channels have low reach because they serve one person or a small group at a time. Interpersonal communication is two-directional, allowing for immediate feedback, clarification, and message adaptation based on the receiver's responses. This is exactly why it produces stronger behavior change. Here is the key concept I want you to lock in for the exam. There is an inverse relationship. As reach increases, impact tends to decrease, and as impact increases, reach tends to decrease. Understanding this trade-off helps you select the right channel or combination of channels for your specific health education objectives. You are going to find this framework incredibly useful in your professional work as well. So how do you actually choose the right channels for your health communication campaign? Let me walk you through a practical framework that will help you both on the exam and in the field. The first step is to match your channel to your specific communication objective. If your primary goal is to raise awareness about a new health threat or policy change, mass media channels are your best choice because awareness requires reach. If your goal is to help people develop new skills, overcome personal barriers, or move from intention to action, interpersonal channels are more appropriate because behavior change requires impact. The second consideration is your audience's access to and preference for different channels. A social media campaign will not reach older adults who do not use the internet. A print brochure campaign will not reach populations with limited literacy. Community health workers may be the most trusted channel in immigrant communities where institutional sources face skepticism. You must use data from your needs assessment to understand which channels your specific audience actually uses and trusts. Now, here's the strategy that really brings everything together. The most powerful approach is a sequential channel mix. You begin with mass media to generate broad awareness and interest. Then you follow up with interpersonal channels to convert that awareness into actual behavior change. For example, a statewide tobacco campaign might use television advertisements to raise awareness of a quit line, and then the quit line itself provides personalized counseling that drives cessation. Finally, consider cost effectiveness from two perspectives. Mass media has a low cost per person reached, but a high cost per behavior changed. Interpersonal channels have a high cost per person reached, but a lower cost per behavior changed. Your budget and objectives together determine the optimal balance. You now have a solid framework for making smart channel decisions, and that is going to serve you well throughout your career. Read the scenario stem aloud. Give students 30 seconds to consider options before advancing. The correct answer is C. Option C correctly applies the channel mix strategy by using mass media for broad awareness and interpersonal channels for behavior change impact. Social media reaches adolescents widely, while peer-led workshops provide the interpersonal interaction needed for skill building and self-efficacy. Option A relies solely on mass media, which has limited behavior change impact. Option B limits reach by using only interpersonal channels. Option D uses a channel poorly matched to the adolescent audience. Summarize